Hi everyone, my name is Miss Star, and I'm an online teacher. I get a lot of questions about why I decided to teach online, so I thought I would share my reasoning and how I ended up down this path with you. So, growing up, I went to public school, and in elementary school, I really wanted to be a teacher. I had some awesome teachers who were great role models for me, and I always hoped one day that I would be a teacher. And then I got to high school and I saw how students were towards the teachers. For anyone who's been to high school, you know that there can be a great lack of respect, which comes with the fact that you're dealing with teenagers. Obviously, it could be very rewarding as well, but I saw the negative sides to teaching and I decided that I just didn't want to teach anymore. For a while, I thought I was going to be a lawyer, then I thought I was going to be an archaeologist, and then I realized how much schooling needs to be done in order to be an archaeologist. So I ended up working for myself for a little bit. I was self employed, and then I worked for a not for profit. And it was really a great experience. I worked in what they called an informal education environment. So, we were providing education to young adults by using trips, essentially. And we got to do some educational sessions with them, and I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed that part of the work. And I decided, you know, I wanted to go back to school and become a teacher. So I found a professional teacher program, meaning that I could still work while taking my classes. And I just went for it. I decided I was going to be a teacher. And deep down, though, I always sort of knew that I just didn't want to teach in a classroom. I had really no interest in dealing with classroom management. I had no interest in dealing with large class sizes. I had no interest with politics. Um, I wanted to focus on teaching people. I wanted to focus on something that I enjoyed. I wanted to focus on making changes in people's lives. And I just didn't know how I was going to do this. Um, was I going to be a private tutor? Was I going to uh, continue my education and become a consultant? When I was doing my bachelor's of education, I really didn't know where I was headed. And at one point, I started teaching English online for a company in China, and that was an interesting experience. But the problem with that experience, though, were the hours, right? You were expected to teach between about 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then again 6 p.m. to 6 to 10 p.m. rather Eastern time. And the hours were just terrible. I didn't want to work until 10 o'clock at night. That was not the lifestyle I was looking for. And I'm also, to be honest with you, really not a morning person. So I decided to um, wean myself off of this teaching online. And at that time, I had switched jobs. I was working for a not for profit that focused on literacy, and I really enjoyed that. But I just didn't know how all of this was going to turn into a full-time job. I had a lot of part-time jobs. I was also tutoring one-on-one, which is really, really, really rewarding. But again, people want tutors at night and on weekends. And all of my friends were pretty established in the jobs that they had. I had decided to go back to school. I didn't want to be working nights and weekends. So through the company that I worked for in China, I was on a Facebook group for that company, and someone posted that this other company was looking for teachers, for science teachers and second language teachers. And I thought, well, I could do that. And I reached out to them and I had an interview and I started teaching sciences for them. And the name of that company is Open Tent Academy. I love teaching sciences there. And then I also decided to try teaching French classes on OutSchool, another great website. And at first, the ball was sort of slowly rolling, and eventually it just started to snowball, and the demand for the classes came in. And, there are a few reasons why I feel that that happened. I don't want to say that I'm lucky because I did work incredibly, incredibly hard. But there are certain skill sets that you need to be a teacher, and there are very different skill sets that you need to have to be an online teacher. And I actually wrote a paper about all of this recently. What makes an expert classroom teacher and what makes an expert online teacher? So I'm teaching online and I meet people and they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I say, "I'm a teacher." And then they say, "Really? Where?" And I say, "Oh, I teach online." And they're like, "What? Who are these kids that you're teaching online? Why are they home during the day? Why aren't they at school?" And through this, I've sort of become an advocate for people who are homeschooled, right? Because I get to teach mostly homeschooled children. They're homeschooled for a huge variety of reasons. And they are some of the most dedicated, enthusiastic students I have ever met in my life. So that's a little bit about how I became an online teacher. I can definitely make other videos about what I feel are good skills for online teachers to have because I really believe that I was meant to teach online. I don't know if I would be as effective in a classroom with 32 students. I don't know if I would be a great classroom teacher, but I feel like I'm a pretty great online teacher. And I'm really thankful that I was able to end up where I am and that technology is what it is. And I really feel that this is the future of education. I last year taught students in over 17 countries. Imagine that, reaching students all around the world. It's amazing. So, thank you for tuning in today. I hope to see you all again soon. And in the description below, you can find out more about my classes and where I teach. Thanks.